Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash and it's La Liga week 30. I'm a little bit feeling sorry for myself because I had a missed penalty when I had the Alex Classic in the last 10 minutes of the Granada game. I had Alaves, both teams to score no. And then they get like a 90th minute goal to kill me. Sevilla, I picked the winner, but I don't get the both teams to score. So it was a dodgy old week for me in La Liga Primera. And I'm going to have Paco, who's without doubt the best from La Liga Lowdown. And obviously I've got Martin Green, who's the only one showing any sort of profits. And Parlay, well, I'm telling you what, he is on last chance saloon. So we need him to come up with some sort of trumps this week. But first of all, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means that I can notify you and you'll never miss any content again. And that's a bonus because we've got Champions League on Monday, Europa League Tuesday, and a full set of domestic shows next Thursday and Friday. Also, if you press a link in the description, that'll take you over to the written articles by either Tan or Martin or Alex. But every show that we cover here on SBR has got some written content over on the site. So please go over there. Also, have a little check on your SBR odds page. All the books are there. All the prices are there. So don't be taking a price at plus 100 when someone else is offering plus 115. Also, if it's your first time here, feel welcome. Come in, say hello in the chat. They're a friendly bunch. There's a few dodgy ones in there. They know who they are, but there's nothing dodgy about my two guests. I'm going to start with you, Paco, from La Liga Lowdown. It's great to have you back, mate. You're so much better than Ewan and that other geezer, Roman.
At the end of the day, someone is going to actually believe you, you know.
No,
I feel so
listen,
sorry
I have to
for
keep
them.
ducking it. I'll tell you what you're like. You're like my three girlfriends, but you don't know about each other.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're great guys, but I try to learn from Martin. You know, I have never been this good, but everything Martin says, I think, you know, he always sitting on top of the golden mine, and I try to learn from the best. Aprender del mejor, how we used to say here in Spanish.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Martin's going to be absolutely loving that you've got 3 disciples, Martin.
Oh, bless you. That's very kind of you, Paco. My knowledge of La Liga is definitely not at your level, but I try my best to analyse the games and come up with predictions from a position of strength. They seem to have worked out pretty well so far this season. So hopefully I can keep it going for the remaining weeks of the campaign, and we'll end the season in profit, which would be great during a very tumultuous year with lots of fixture congestion. You know, a lot of dodgy away home records because there's no fans in the stadium. So it has been difficult betting on football this season. So let's hope we can have a strong finish and even better next time around.
Yeah, grande. Buen dia to Javier in Colombia. Obviously, that's where my missus is from. She's from, obviously, Bogota. But listen, is it Paco, is it Javier or Javier when they're Colombian?
Javier.
Yeah, I thought
it's
I
like
thought
the J in ham, Javier, strong J. But Javier.
Okay, and by the way, Mashari's going Vamos Madrid, which is come on Madrid. Don't be silly. You're playing against the hottest side probably in Europe, and also they've got to go to play Liverpool's second leg. So I fancy all the value is on Barcelona. That's El Clasico. It's probably the biggest derby in the world. Some people can argue, but we'll have a chat for half an hour and we'll decide that I was right all along. But let's kick off with this Friday night game. And Huesca, they love playing on a Friday night, Paco.
I don't really think they love that, but the scheduling is the way it is.
Do you want me to give you the prices first? Paco, look at you. See, that's why you're the best. You're out the traps already before I've even said go. You'd get a yellow card if it was 100 metres. It's Huesca at plus 105, draw plus 225. And Elche, who loves to coupon bust everyone, is at plus 300. Paco, Huesca on a Friday night, and they're going great guns.
Yeah, because they have, turned it around in the last 2-3 games. It seems like they were doomed only 1 month and a half ago before that switch in the bench. And Pacheta is a whole different story if you compare it to former coaches for Huesca, who are only one game away, a couple of points away from saving themselves. And that seemed absolutely impossible just a handful of games ago. So it's true that the Friday night game is always a dodgy one. Fortunately for Huesca, no fans at the stadium, because you always have too little fans in attendance in such a game. But this one is huge. If we look at the stakes, fighting against Elche, who are also in danger, they are exactly the team just above them, 2 points away. So if Huesca beat Elche, they send Elche into relegation zone, and they are able to be relegation free. So it's a huge game in my view, but I don't expect too much action in this one, because they are going to be very, very conservative. They know that a defeat in this fixture is going to be very, very bad for both of them. So I don't expect greatness. Possibly a draw with a few goals. I don't know what Martin thinks about this one.
Okay, and also if you want to reply to Alex in the chat, the live chat, Paco, why I'm speaking to Martin. Martin, Huesca, they're playing carefree. Elche just play the way they are. They'll pick up points here, there, and everywhere, and it's normally when we go against them.
Yeah, it is always a bit dodgy betting against Elche, but I think they could struggle in the remaining weeks of the season. These two teams have been involved in quite a lot of dull, low-scoring games in recent times. They under 2.5 goals in their last 3 matches, actually. I think Huesca won the home game when they were in Segunda Division last season, and it was a pretty drab 0-0 draw earlier in the campaign. I don't think many people expected Elche to be sitting above Huesca in the table at this stage of the season, but it kind of shows how well they've done. Under 2.5 goals, would be an attractive bet, but the odds just aren't there. Most bookmakers are offering minus 200 on it. You can get to maybe about minus 180 or something like that, but it doesn't look too appealing. I don't expect much from this game either. I think both teams are going to be really sort of desperately fighting for points, and that could lead to quite a stifled sort of match. Leaning towards Huesca for the win, but they've only won 2 matches at home all season, so doesn't inspire me with a great deal of confidence. So
tie game normally means draw at the halftime, which is obviously, and it's fast becoming here the Tang Classic. Draw halftime, gentlemen.
Maybe.
Or you want to sit on the fence anymore, Mark?
I'm totally sitting on the fence on this game. One of my legs is dangling in the direction of Huesca, but I'm very much on the fence.
Okay, no worries. You just keep that dangling leg. I'm leaving it alone because it's Friday night, but I have got strong feelings about a few games. I'm not complicating any of the games. And this next game is the first game that I'm not complicating. It is Getafe plus 100, draw plus 205, Cadiz plus 375. Getafe, best front foot forward, plus 100. I bit him up right up to the elbow. Martin, any reason why I shouldn't go for Getafe plus 100?
I guess because their form hasn't been particularly impressive in recent weeks. This isn't the Getafe side that we know from last season. But
they show it in glimpses. I see it in like 15, 20-minute bursts.
But they're lacking cutting edge in front of goal. Yes, they battle. Yes, they're good at grinding out results. They held Atletico Madrid to a 0-0 draw, which is a very impressive result considering how well Atletico had been playing. But in their last 2 matches, they've drawn with Elche and Osasuna. Whereas one thing about Cadiz is they do come out and attack. They're pretty poor in defence, but I think the way to beat Cadiz is to really go all out and attack them, which I'm not quite sure Getafe have the firepower to do. So I could maybe see this one ending in a draw too.
Wow. I tell you what, you sit on that fence anymore, you're going to be asking the missus to take them splinters out. Paco. Getafe surely win this game. They're a class above Cadiz, and it's all about mentality. And they'll be turning up to the game with their little bags under their arm, thinking it's 3 points today, and flashes on at plus 100.
Yeah, possibly so. By the way, I have checked the live chat, and yes, Alex, definitely, ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Is on point. But if you're looking for something more feisty, I don't believe you are going to find it. You should ask for La Cervecería o El Bar, which is much better. Regarding the game, remember, Cadiz win their game against Valencia a few days ago, but it's true that Cadiz have been the protagonists in the latest days because of the controversy surrounding what happened between Juan Cala, Mokhtar Diakhaby, allegedly a racist slur towards Diakhaby. There was an investigation. La Liga said nothing had happened, or better said that they didn't have evidence and proof that something had happened over there. So I don't think that Cadiz has been very, very focused this week because so much noise surrounding everything, and that might work in favor of Getafe. I'm going to leave Martin aside in this one. I think that Getafe are the favorites just because they have been able to focus in football in the last 7 days. So if you add to the fact that they need to win if they want to overtake Cadiz in the standings, Getafe are having an awful season, and they have strong 3 consecutive draws in the latest game. So overall, I think they are the favorites, but they're not going to score many goals. I expect a low score in this one.
Yeah, Getafe at plus 100 for me. Moving on, though, Paco, because I got Athletic Club at minus 110. But listen, this never really happens. I got them at plus 100 this morning. Draw plus 250. Alaves plus 380. I see Athletic Club. Yes, they've had million games more than most, but I see them with spirit, and I see a few of their average players stepping up to the plate, Paco.
In 9 out of 10 weeks, I would say definitely Atleti were the way to go in such a game against Alaves, who have shown a very poor form in the last 2 months. And actually, that cost the job to their coach, Abelardo, whose stint this season in there was absolutely awful. But I said in 9 out of 10 games, and this might be the single exception because they have a new coach, and every single time you get someone new in the dugout, the team seems to have something more spirit in them. Alaves has good players. They actually have, the Lucas Perez and the whole bunch, but they have just looked very, very poor. If you add to the fact that Atleti didn't do well against Real Sociedad in the final, in Copa del Rey final, they also weren't able to win the game because Unai Simon was awful midweek. I think you guys saw that goal. It was absolutely terrible. If you add to that the fact that they have upcoming the Copa del Rey final against Barca, I don't think they are going to give their 100%. So Alaves might scratch a point in such a game because they definitely need something positive if they don't want to become, the easiest team going down in the next few weeks.
Okay, I'm going with Bilbao all the way here, and I couldn't believe that I beat the market, Martin.
Nice one, Flash. Yeah, glad to hear you beat the market. I was really tempted to bet on Athletic Bilbao too, but I'm kind of with with Paco here. Not sure what Roman thinks about it, but yeah, I think that was a good analysis. Also, Alaves did beat Athletic Bilbao earlier this season. They've won their last 2 matches against them, and they're going to be fresh. They're going to be fired up for this game. Yes, they're bottom of the table. Yes, their form has been dreadful, but they just changed their manager with Calleja coming in, and he could galvanise them, which often happens with a new coach.
And galvanise often gets mentioned when you're speaking.
I think there's just a few red flags. There's a few alarm bells that are ringing here. I just worry that Athletic Club are going to be a bit fatigued after all the football they've played in recent weeks. And Alaves aren't dead and buried yet. They can still claw their way out of this relegation battle. So I was really tempted to bet on Athletic Club, but in the end, I decided it was a trap and passed it.
Wow, I fancy like a little 2-0. I really do. Maybe both teams to score no, and that brings in, obviously, even if we get it wrong, but we get it right, we have like a 0-0. But I've gone with the plus 100. I just couldn't believe it when I was looking at minus 110, and then I saw a couple of books go plus 100. Maybe they know something I don't. They don't often get it wrong, but if they do get it wrong, I'm going to be the first one there. Now we've got El Clasico coming up. But first of all, let's get this massive game, Martin, out of the way. Eibar plus 125, draw plus 245, and Levante at plus 230. Levante are fast becoming, I would normally say, a wolf in sheep's clothing, but I think they're a sheep in sheep in wolf's clothing. I think they're conning us. I think they're turning into frauds because they might score goals when they're behind, but they don't win enough games.
Yeah, it is a bit of a shame to see their recent results because I think they're a good team and I've enjoyed watching them several times this season. They were in terrific form after they beat Valencia in that big derby. But yeah, they seem to have gone off the boil a bit. I would still be tempted to back them draw no bet in this game because Eibar's home form is just absolutely shocking. Without any fans inside their stadium, they've just been horrific at home all season and it's landed them in grave relegation danger. Whereas Levante, you know, they are, I think they are a better team. I think they've got better players across the board and the odds are huge on Levante. I know the form hasn't been that great recently, but I'm definitely tempted to go Levante draw no bet in this one.
Yeah, I'm glad you said draw and Levante in the same sentence because Paco, it's almost you go blind now. You go Levante draw or you just go with the opposition draw no bet because Levante are not finishing teams off when they're having the possession during the game.
Yeah, Levante are possibly one of the teams who insist more on leaving us commentators and pundits and people who follow La Liga in a bad place. Because this season they have insisted on overturning every single assessment we made from them. When they were playing very poorly, suddenly they got a great run of games. And now when they were eyeing to finish the season just on top of Valencia, for example, and getting that little win at the end of the season, they managed to get into the semifinals of the Copa del Rey. And suddenly they have become awful. The game against Huesca last week was so poor that fans were super angry at the way that the team delivered. So this is a very similar game. They are facing a very similar opposition. They are right now with 35 points, almost safe, but they need at least one win, 9 games remaining. Eibar might be in much more need of the points, and that's why I don't have confidence in Levante. And by the way, in the chat, they asked me a few questions before about the Basque Derby. Yes, definitely, Athletic against Alaves is a Basque Derby. In this one, I have no faith in Levante, and I myself, I'm usually traditionally supportive of Levante, but they are looking very poor lately in the last few games.
I like Eibar to jump all over Levante, maybe both teams to score, but it still always points to a 1-1 draw. Martin, just quickly, you go with the draw here?
Possibly so. I would go with that one.
Why not? Let's go for a draw. +2.
All right, let's get all that out of the way because here we go. It is El Clasico. This is a game that I grew up with. I mean, many superstars. I mean, it's just too many to mention. It's probably the most watched derby around the world, and Mashari agrees with me. It's Madrid at +200. Tells you everything. Draw +285. That is massive as well. But Barcelona at +140. Paco, I'm Barcelona, and I've gone 2 units on Barcelona, and there's many reasons why. But I'll let you give me reasons why it shouldn't be Barcelona this weekend.
Why it shouldn't be Barcelona?
Yeah.
Oh, well, possibly Real Madrid coming off a great vibe and momentum after their big win against Liverpool. But at the same time, they played midweek and Barca didn't. At the same time, they have many players absent at the back with Varane with the COVID problems, Carvajal absent, Sergio Ramos absent, Hazard today, a few hours from now, wasn't included in the matchday squad. So Real Madrid have plenty of absent players, whereas Barca more or less come with all of their big guns. Busquets was included in the matchday squad day list. Also, Piqué is coming back. Let's see if he plays. Overall, I see Barca much stronger with more players, more rest in the last few days, and they are the favorites in my view. I don't know what kind of game we're going to see, but I expect Barca to win this one because they need the win much more because they need to win something this year. Real Madrid has the Champions League as their big goal, whereas Barca need to get something out positive from the Copa del Rey final and overtake Atletico and put some pressure on Atletico if they win this game on Saturday when Atletico are playing on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, myself and my friends, we basically went through the Champions League setup, and we saw Real Madrid at 12-1 and thought that's where their focus is going to lie. Now, I don't expect to see the likes of triumphant, as what Martin would say, of Cruz, Modric and Casemiro. I'm not so sure we're going to see the front boys of Arsenio, Vinicius and Benzema, because they've got, listen, 3-1 up. It should have been 7, and then obviously this game takes on a completely different meaning. But their best players the other night for me were Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Phillips, Mane, Keita, Robertson. They were their best players. They passed to Real Madrid players more than the Real Madrid players passed to each other. So Barcelona for me, Martin, all the way, plus 140, and it's my banker.
That's interesting, Flash. Yeah, I did actually think it was a bit of a tactical masterclass from Zinedine Zidane in that game against...
Well, he did, yeah, because he got the Real Madrid players calling the Liverpool players, so the Liverpool players kept passing to him.
Well, I think he doesn't often get a lot of credit for his tactical nous, but he clearly instructed them to put long balls over the top that Liverpool's inexperienced centre-halves couldn't deal with. Trent Alexander-Arnold had a nightmare with that ball going over the top of him. And, you know, Cruz just playing in a deep-lying role just dominated the game. Casemiro was often at the forefront of that midfield triumvirate, which was strange to see.
Martin, surely we don't expect these boys to play, do we? Because
I think
Liverpool won't play as bad again in like 10 years.
It's the lineup check. You've got to check the lineup. But having said that, you build this up as El Clasico. This is the biggest game of the season. There's probably going to be 1 billion people around the world watching this. Regardless of whether they're playing Liverpool on Wednesday, they've got to come and show up in El Clasico. It's a massive game against their fierce rivals, Barcelona. And yeah, they're still in the Champions League, but they might get knocked out. There's no guarantees, obviously, that they're going to win the Champions League. If they beat Barcelona, they could go top of the table. They'll leapfrog Barcelona, and if Atletico Madrid don't win, you know, they're top with 8 games remaining to defend their crown. There's a clear motivation for them to go and win this game. So I would be surprised if he fields a really weakened team. Yes, as Paco said, the real issue is at the back, where Varane is out with COVID, Ramos is out, injured. That's going to be disastrous when you're coming up against Barcelona. But I still think if they play their best midfield, they can still dominate the midfield battle. They've got a better midfield than Barcelona for me. And I think they can get on the score sheet in this one too. So I went for both teams to score and under 4.5 goals. Pretty good record against Barcelona recently, Real Madrid. So I think that looks like a pretty good one. But yeah, I'm waiting.
I hear you. And I was going to say, if you're not brave enough to go for Barcelona, then is it an Alex Classic? Both teams to score and over the 2.5. But I just think you've got to take all the circumstances into account. And Madrid have got more than one eye on playing Liverpool next week. And they've listen, before they even come into this game, they've got problems with injuries. They cannot afford to go. Their whole season revolves around getting through this game because they will beat Chelsea over 2 legs. And I've said that just to bring out the Chelsea fans in the chat. And you know you are, and you know that if you play Real Madrid in the semi-final of a Champions League, your journey stops there. But it's Barcelona for me.
I had to do a bracket, actually. Someone asked me to do a bracket of which teams get the furthest, and I did actually have Real Madrid beating Chelsea in the semi-final.
Well, why wouldn't you? I mean, you'd be silly to go with a young Chelsea side against potential, I don't know, when they're on it, one of the best sides in Europe, and Chelsea is certainly not that. So I keep throwing out the bait for them boys in the chat to come back at me, but I think they probably agree deep down. Next game, and that, by the way, Barcelona all the way, El Clasico. Come on, Messi, do your thing, and Griezmann, he could be your man as well. Villareal minus 155. Martin, draw plus 275. Osasuna plus 500. Villareal. I love the way they play, but they don't put teams to bed, and that's cost them many points. And they've just had a Europa League tie this week, where, again, they didn't put the team to bed, but they still got the result.
Yeah, I think they'll be very happy with that result. I did actually.
More than I was. I bet them.
Yeah, I bet them. I bet them at plus 115 to beat Dynamo Zagreb away, and I thought that was a great set of odds, and they went and pulled it off. I think they've been good in recent weeks. You know, they've kept 3 clean sheets in their last 4 matches. They're looking pretty composed at the back. You know, they've got a great midfield of Capu and Parejo, where you've got steel and you've got quality on the ball. I'm very impressed with them at the moment. I think they can, if it is Arsenal against Villareal in the next round, if Arsenal manage to scrape past Slavia Prague, then it's going to be a very difficult game for Arsenal. I didn't put this as one of my picks because when I sent in my picks, I hadn't seen the Dynamo Zagreb game yet. But having seen that result, I'd be happy to go for a Villareal win in this one. I know Osasuna are hard. They're a tough nut to crack. They pick up a lot of draws. But I think Villareal with Moreno up front, with the form he's in.
Do you think he'll play, though? Do you think he'll play? I think it might be 3 games in 7 days for him. Obviously, he's had his injury problems. Yes, he is their talisman. But do you think he'll risk him?
Again, it's probably a lineup check. You might keep him on the bench and bring him on in the second half if you need a goal. But, you know, they've got Alcácer, they've got Bacca, they've got Moy Gomez. They've got a lot of quality in attack, so they can afford to shuffle their pack. Maybe a lineup check, but just looking at it now, I'd be happy to go. I mean, you've got 1.72 on a Villareal win, so you'd probably be getting close to even money on Villareal and under 4.5 goals, which looks really good to me.
Yeah, I'm liking that. Paco, we like Villareal, but energy levels and lineup check, I think, is essential.
Yeah, this is probably going to be my parlay pick for later, because I think that they are in a point where they have finally solved the problems that were hobbling them in the last 2 months, which was defending, obviously, and not being able to finally seal the deal in any single game and close it properly. Gerard Moreno right now is on a beast mode. I believe he's the best Spanish striker at this point, because the most complete one, scoring from every single position, doing absolutely everything fine. And as you said, the midfield is in a very, very strong moment. So once they have finally adjusted a bit at the back, they need to win this, because it's their last call for trying to squeeze into that last 4th Champions League spot. Because remember, there are 3 teams with 46 points, Real Sociedad, Betis, Villareal. If they win this one, they can climb up to 5th this weekend and try to eye if Sevilla are not able to keep winning, try to get that last run into the Champions League places. If they fail to do so against Osasuna, I believe Osasuna are more or less safe from relegation. They only need a couple of points to get safe and spend in holidays the last few games. They are going to definitely win this one against Osasuna, who are finding it, by the way, very, very difficult to score, even though Chimi Avila is back, which is great news for them.
And they'll be fighting on 2 fronts, because, I mean, as you know, if you win the Europa League, you go into the Champions League.
Absolutely.
I see Villareal in the final. Probably against Manchester United at the expense of Arsenal, but only because Arsenal, you don't know, you cannot trust them. Let's move on. Valencia. Plus 265, Paco, your hometown. Draw plus 250, but Sociedad at plus 110. Sociedad, I wouldn't go against them at the moment.
Valencia, what a team! What a club! You know, the fact is that this week we haven't spoken anything about the game against Real Sociedad. Nothing, like no news about that, because everything was focused on the Diakabi Juan Cala incident from last weekend, and at the end of the day, nothing really clear came out of all of this. So after La Liga made their statement earlier today, everything more or less is going to settle and nothing is going to happen. So yeah, Valencia are going to be able to focus finally in that game. They're going to have 48 hours, and Real Sociedad are looking much better. Even though they played midweek against Athletic Club, they play beautiful football. They are coming off as Copa del Rey champions. They are full of confidence, and they are in the same situation as Villareal. They need to win if they want to hang on to that last train into the Champions League places. So Valencia are not the favorites, even though they play at Mestalla, and I expect pain. Really.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I expect a painful evening.
Do you think Valencia score, Paco? Because the one thing I've noticed about Sociedad recently is they've been tight and organised at the back.
Yeah, but I think Valencia find incredibly easy to score goals, even though they don't have their best strikers in form. Maxi Gomez is having an awful season, only 5 goals scored. He's having plenty of physical problems. But the other day, for example, Gameiro scored an excellent goal, and Manu Vallejo can also play. I think Valencia have an easiness to score.
Did you just mention Gameiro?
Yes, I mentioned Gameiro.
And was he not meant to be one of the world's top players like 3 seasons ago, where every man and his dog wanted to sign him?
Yeah, but the problem is that he has already, he has 32, I believe. He's already a bit old, a bit tired, and also injuries. He's very injury prone. And this season,
you think his enthusiasm for the game has just gone a little bit?
I think that when you are, and you know that perfectly because you've seen it in many, many places, when you are so injury prone and are unable to play 3-4 games in a row, it's not the same. It's very difficult to keep a level of consistency when you have that kind of problems.
Okay. So you think pain for Valencia?
Pain for Valencia, yes.
Good, definitely. I'm glad, because I've gone for Sociedad. Don't complicate it. Just win the game 1-0 for me, Martin.
Yeah, it sounds good. I don't bet on Valencia because they always let me down. When you expect them to lose, they win. When you expect them to win, they lose. Not betting on Valencia has been one of the best decisions I've made this season, I think. Not gonna break it this weekend. What do you think is going to happen in the summer, Paco? Because obviously it's a big club. They've been in the top 4 recently. They sold half their squad in the summer and didn't replace them. Is it going to be another summer of just selling off anyone, or are they going to show a bit more ambition and get back?
Yeah, actually, there was an interview a couple of days ago from our mate Adam Crafton at the Athletic with Anil Murthy, and he said that this summer they are going to keep selling players. My question is, who are you going to sell? Because there's almost nothing left, no stock left. But
who's going to want to go there is a bigger question.
Possibly the answer is going to be that Valencia will keep churning out youngsters, even though they might not be prepared, or even though they might not have the same level as the starters this season. But overall, the future looks bleak next summer. But once again, I think Valencia fans are already used to this kind of stuff as long as Peter Lim remains in charge in Valencia, unfortunately for us.
Okay. Well, we're going to go with Sociedad anyway. Next game, Valladolid plus 110, draw plus 250, Granada plus 275. Granada killed me last week, missing an 82nd minute penalty. All I wanted, listen, they're 3-0 down after like 22 minutes. All I wanted was a goal. No goal. So I'm going Man United win 2-0. Thank you very much. They flatter to deceive. So when are we going to see Valladolid again at plus 110 against a side that effectively are better? But can you trust them? And have they chucked the towel, Martin?
Yeah, the odds are only based on circumstances, not on the actual quality of the teams. Like you said, Granada are a better team. They've shown that by finishing above them last season, and they seem to have more quality across the starting 11. It's just their form has fallen off a cliff in recent weeks, Granada, and obviously suffered a pretty comprehensive defeat to Man United, as we expected. We said on the show, didn't we? Man United
win 2-0.
5 goals. Man United win 2-0. Had it at plus 140. So I hope everyone listened and backed them, because that was a gift. It's hard to know what Granada are going to turn up now. I mean, they're out, aren't they? They're out of the Europa League. They're not going to overturn a 2-goal deficit at Old Trafford. So they may as well, wherever they're playing. Yeah, they'll have to take this game seriously. Valladolid have been decent. They drew with Sevilla. They only narrowly lost to Barcelona last time out. So I can see why they're the favourites. It just doesn't really sit right with me betting against Granada at these odds. So,
but listen, it doesn't. I don't care who the opposition are. Valladolid at plus 110 against anybody is not the way to go. I mean, the draw is jumping off the page, but the bigger one is I don't think you can go with Granada, Paco.
Yeah, because I saw the game against Manchester United, and as Martin said, it was a very comprehensive defeat. Manchester did their thing, and Granada, I believe they're just not at that level at this point. And I believe they're going to have plenty of problems with that. I think they're going to be demoralized, tired, obviously, because they played on Thursday. Whereas Valladolid have been doing very well lately. They had strung a couple of good results, 4 games without a defeat before facing Barca, and their defeat was only 1-0 with a very controversial game where Barca played awfully and Valladolid deserved a bit more. So if we see the latest weeks, I believe Valladolid are in a very good position at this point. They are feeling confident and they need the points because they are not free and safe from the relegation danger. So even though Flash loves Granada, and I understand it because they are a great team, I think Valladolid are the favorites, and you can see that obviously in the odds.
Okay, so would you go? I mean, draw no bet is a safer way to go. So
absolutely.
I mean, it's like minus 190 or something, but I mean, you just cannot go with the away side.
Yeah, I don't think Granada are going to be able to win it, but yeah, draw no bet with Valladolid is the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, maybe both teams to score, as Joseph Gomez says in the chat. Recency bias. Listen, that is rife in sports betting. But listen, you know that we're like, we go back a long way to try and find the loser. Okay, here we go. Big game this. Betis plus 240 Paco. Draw plus 225. Atletico plus 145. Right. Give me a reason why Atletico are plus 145 when they are desperado to win a game. Yes, Betis are in form. Yes, I expect both teams to score. Now, have they got all their strikers out? Because I know they're saying about injury to Suarez, but 145, is that not just like Bayern were last week in Bundesliga? They're around the plus 150. Don't look, just bet them.
Yeah, I was expecting you to make some kind of comments about Suarez, and you did it.
I'm consistent and predictable.
Yeah, you're very consistent. Yeah, nobody can tell there's an inconsistency with your takes on Luis Suarez. But yeah,
or Atletico, because they won't win the league, as I called 10, 12 weeks ago.
Okay, but they're going to miss him, sorely miss him. Those 2-3 weeks with physical problems for Luis Suarez are going to be a big headache for El Cholo Simeone, even though they have the quality in spades to be able to overcome that sort of hurdle. At the same time, Betis have been looking very, very well, very good this season. Overall, they had a few problems at the back at the beginning of the competition, but once they got that in check, they are a very dangerous side because they score so easily. They find it so simple to get the ball into the back of the net. So I expect a glorious game. I expect goals in this one, even though Atletico, I know they favor the defense, but with Oblak at the back, Atletico are the favorites. You have to take into account that they will be looking very closely to what happens in El Clásico 24 hours earlier, and they have the chance of making the gap bigger. So motivation is going to be absolutely incredible for Atletico, and I expect them to do very well against Betis.
Okay. Atletico at plus 145 to get the job done, maybe a 2-1. But the big thing is they've got to keep going. So if it's 1-1, they can't settle for a draw because they know that the big guns or the bigger guns are chasing and trying to knock down the door, Martin.
Yeah, definitely. It's a huge price. It's drifting as well. It's plus 1. I know. Get now. It's crazy. It was like plus 125 yesterday. All the money must be going on Real Betis.
Or the draw.
Or the draw, yeah. I guess everyone's reading a lot into the absence of Suarez, but you know this is an Atletico Madrid team with a big squad. You know, maybe it's time for Joao Felix to step up and prove that he's the man.
What did they buy Dembele for then?
Yeah, or Dembele. You know, they've got lots of options in attack. Thomas Lemar. They should be capable of opening up a pretty weak Real Betis defence. I know Betis are in good form at the moment, but they've been shaky at the back all season, really. It's a huge game for them, isn't it? That was a disastrous result against Sevilla in midweek, despite the penalty save.
They were bossed. They were bossed by them, weren't they?
They were.
Sevilla taught them a lesson.
that was a brilliant performance from Sevilla. That was everything we know and love. They didn't let their heads get down after missing that penalty, and they just kept on going, and they got their reward. It was well deserved. And now they've got to go back to the same city and try and get a result. It's going to be a tall order, but like you said, the motivation is there for Atletico to go and win this game. I suppose a draw wouldn't be the end of the world, provided El Clasico ends all square. But yeah, they're going to have to push for a win in this one. It looks like a huge price. I think I sent you Atletico draw no bet yesterday at -143. It's now -133. So I'll definitely have that.
You didn't get the best price then.
No, but
go again. Go in again. Yeah, Paco, can we see? Can we see Atletico playing with a false 9 here?
Possibly so, because they don't have the. I believe Simeone would have has thought quite a lot this week about Diego Costa. You only miss him when you don't have him available. But yeah, they're going to have to change their tactics. They're going to have to find some kind of compromise on the forwards, because there simply is no specific number 9. But Simeone has always, you could place definitely Llorente over there, and he would do fine because he's the best player of the team at this point. But yeah, he's going to find a solution, 100%. Simeone will surely find a way to win this game.
Yeah, I think it's one of them games, Martin, that we look back and say, how were Atletico at +145? Because it's desperation, and they must put their front foot forward and almost break the shackles of the way that they've been playing.
And they lost 3 games against Betis as well. So, yeah.
Everything points to Atletico being overpriced, but everything points maybe to the draw. But listen, whatever way you go, good luck. Now, the final game.
I bet.
It's a great game, this, Martin. I'm coming to you because you're Aspas #1 fan. Celta +245, draw +255, and Sevilla at +120. I see this being tighter than tight.
Oh yeah, I am Aspas #1 fan. He is a quality player. Him and Gerard Moreno are just 2 of the best forwards in world football. Light up La Liga on a regular basis, week in, week out. He scored in the first half when they met earlier this season, and Nolito was on target as well. Remember watching it. Celta Vigo were 2-1 up, at half time, and then a late flurry from Sevilla. Got 2 goals towards the end, 1-4-2. So that was a very open, exciting end-to-end game. Not quite sure what we're going to get this time around, but yeah, I do think the odds on Sevilla winning it look really good. I know they played in midweek, so fatigue could be a bit of an issue, but surely you're going to take a lot of optimism, a lot of belief and a lot of confidence from beating a very strong Atletico Madrid team. Not just the result, but the performance as well. I thought they were terrific on the ball, and I don't really rate Celta Vigo that highly defensively, so I think it's all pointing to an away win for me. I'm going for the away win.
I think it's tight and cagey, Paco, because that goes and fades the public opinion. Yeah,
possibly so. By the way, I want to thank someone in the chat who said, with a beard, I look younger, which is nice.
You do.
Whenever someone says that. And I'm also on the Iago Aspas bandwagon alongside Martin Green. He's carrying the bandwagon. I'm just beside him. And why is he not going with the national team? It's something which blows my mind. Anyway, but Sevilla are looking very, very good. Lately they seem to be in a whole different mindset, especially as they are already, out of other options and they can focus 100% of La Liga games. I expect this one to be very fun, a very fun game to watch. 2 teams who obviously favor the offense in both cases, and with players who are capable of doing great things in front. But yeah, Sevilla are the favorites. Even though they are playing away from Sánchez Pizjuán, they're going to Vigo to play the game. But I don't really know the value in this one, where to find it. Obviously, a Celta win would be a huge upset. But maybe Sevilla scoring plus 2.5 goals, possibly an Alex Classic, both teams scoring and plus 2.5 goals. There might be a bit of value, extra value, especially if you regard it to, compare it to just a plain Sevilla win.
In play for me, in play, because I know this Sevilla side like the back of my hand. I love their DNA. I've got them right nearly every single time I've watched them in play. So again, I'll know exactly how they are. But I'm telling you, I'm expecting it to be slow. I don't expect goals early on in this game, but it's one of those. This is a game where I think Sevilla might be happy with a point, and if they nick it, so be it. But I think they make sure that Celta are not encouraged, because if Celta get their nose in front, they are one dangerous outfit. Okay, let's go with the official picks, please, Esteban. Okay, Martin's picks. He's gone for Madrid, El Clasico, both teams to score, and under 4.5 at +115. He's gone with Atletico, draw no bet, at -143, even though -133 is available now. And Sevilla at +126. Paco is gone Madrid, Alex Classic, -130. Valladolid, draw no bet, at -190. Squirrel, Paco. Atletico, there's a big one there, though, at +145. And Huesca, under 2.5 goals in the game at -190. Okay, Flash has gone for Barcelona at +140, even though you can get +145 in places. That's my banker. Getafe +100. Atletico Bilbao +100. And Sociedad at +110. I might even have like a little quarter unit on Getafe Athletic Club and Sociedad. Now, 2-team parlay. Well, because Villareal, you can now get -135. Just a straight Villareal win. Must go in there, surely, gentlemen.
Yeah, you stole that one from under our noses.
You said that this looks like a parlay piece, and then when the price is now like -135, I mean, maybe even -134.
I was trying to say, I would like to add in Villareal and under 4.5 goals as a tip at about -110, but I couldn't get a word in, Flash. You're like one of those.
No, that's no problem, Martin. You're no problem. So what are you saying? Add to your official picks.
Yep.
Villareal
under 4.5
and under 4.5. So Villareal to win and under 4.5 at -110.
Yeah, I just think Thank you.
Yeah.
You've got the gab going. You're like one of those horse racing commentators, and they're going round the final bend.
That's my job, Martin. You've worked with me for about 7 years. That's my job. 2-team parlay. We've gone with Villareal, straight win, -135. Who's the second leg going to be?
Possibly Sevilla.
Where's Celta? What about Athletic Club?
Against Alaves with new coach, that's the place where things gonna be wonky in my view.
What about Sociedad? Let's go with Sociedad against Valencia, because no one likes Valencia, especially the Valencia fan.
But they are the specialists in trying to topple every single prediction, and they are able to do the best game ever in their whole lives just to put us in a bad light. So it's very risky. Valencia should be out of any parlay this season. That's the rule. That's the
they're not in it. We're going with Sociedad.
Well, Valencia games.
Okay, listen, parlay needs to sort himself out, right? So do we not go with Atletico at +145?
Yeah.
Possibly so.
So we got a -135 and a +145, because we're going to go with Atletico. And the reason, and as everyone knows, I don't even like Atletico, but when I'm getting 145 against a team at top of the league who on their day can do the job, I'm thinking that's the way we go. We go Villareal and Atletico. Don't complicate it. Money line double. Okay. Now, if you like this video and why haven't you? I've enjoyed this one. Please subscribe, press the button, ring the bell. Ring the bell means I'll notify you. You'll never miss any content again. Press the link in the description. That'll take you over to articles by either Alex or Martin or Tan. And all of the videos that we have here on SBR and sports that we don't cover on video are accompanied by articles over there with meat on the bone and parlays. I'm just looking, 43 thumbs up against 86. Let me work that out. 43 and 86. I'll leave you with 50%. Press the thumbs up on the way out. Paco, see you soon. Enjoy Valencia. Let's hope that curfew's lifted soon. But Sociedad this weekend for me. Martin, see you Tuesday for Europa League. Remember, it's Champions League on Monday with the Madmen. Have a great weekend. It is El Clasico. See you soon.
See you soon, guys. Good weekend.
Bye-bye.